Welcome back everyone, hope you're having an awesome day, and today we're going to go through and have a look at the new Academy units that have just dropped in Pokemon Masters. We've got our Gladion and Porygon Z, Iris and Lapras, and for the unit that you get to actually build in the Academy event, we've got our Brendan and Marshtomp. So have a quick look through the event here itself. I do have to re-record basically the whole video. I had it wasn't really working out the way I wanted it to, so we're just going to go through the kits, a couple of build ideas and that, and we call it a day. So if we go into our events, we've got our Academy event now, the Best Buddies program. So as you see, our Brendan and Marshtomp is going to be the unit that we get to build here. He only has Waterfall at the start, no passive skills, obviously. If you have any idea on what the Academy is, then you kind of know why that is the case. But basically, you get to build and pick whichever abilities you want on him, assuming that you have, obviously, the orbs to get there. So if you want, Die Hit, Earthquake, all that kind of stuff. For the most part, it does seem like a really good range setter, but I'll go through the kit and kind of what I want to kind of get on him a little bit later on in the video. Timestamps if you want to skip to anywhere in particular, of course. But for the most part, if you have any of these units here, we do have, you got your Iris and Lapras, your Porygon Z, and Gladion as well. They're going to give you a 2x bonus in the orbs. And then obviously your Brendan and Marshtomp, a couple of extra ones. And all the other Academy units that they've had in the past get a little bonus as well. And then worst case, throw some Unova units in, and you're going to get some extra orbs there as well if you have any of these, of course. So do what you can and let me know down below how far you got him. I'm going to do a couple of build ideas now. We're going to skip over to the summons I did in the first video I recorded. It didn't turn out the way I wanted it. So I'll keep the summons in the video though. I will do that now, and then I'll go through some kit upgrades and just going through how what I want to build on them and how I want to use them. Alrighty, so we've gone through the kits, we've seen what we had, we know who we're picking for, we want to get this Gladion, I'm just saying that right now. But we do have our 48-hour ones here, so I better pick these ones and see what we get. So our first summon, we've got our Iris and Lapras here. We'll just do like maybe 2 summons on each. We've got this one and then obviously the other one as well, the Tiered Scout, might do one there. Or you know what, how about we just unlock our first shot? Not really too worried about Iris. Gladion is the one I want to get the copies of. We do have a Poryphone, so I feel like we should get a copy of Gladion nice and simple. You know what? I'll take it. I've always said if I get another Ilma copy, I'll be pretty happy. What is he? That's a 3 out of 5. That's a maxed out Synchron, I'm pretty sure. So I'll take it, no problem. Seems to be very important in the Academy space as well, so it might come in pretty handy there. Wow, that's what I got. So I did this summon and I got an Ilma. Pretty useless if I say myself game. Not even going to do that one. Alright, let's do our Gladion and Porygon Z. Again, if I get double copy here, I'm going to call that a nice easy win there. Again, Poryphone for Porygon, am I right? No, apparently not. We got a Nessa. Like, who actually cares about Nessa, really? I think what we need, though, is a Gladion Porygon Z. Oh, that looks like it. If you ever get a tear in your uniform... Did you say I'll fix it or something like that? Nice. Stronger,
I will too. No way I'm getting left behind.
I like how he does the whole, he does like a hair flick, It's like, bro, you don't even have the hair for that. What are you doing? Let's get another copy, though. See, I told you, I could hear it. I heard the Porygon. I told you, double copy Porygon. That's all that matters. You know what would be crazy? Getting a third one. Just saying, yeah. Be crazy if I got a third one. That'd make for a very interesting video, I reckon. Come on, streamer privilege, let's go. Nah, of course not. That's fine. Hey, double copy on him. I'll call that a win, because now we just need to do, a couple of things here. Got a couple of dailies, and then we'll just do one more 10 pull, maybe 2 on Iris, if we get a copy of the, of Gladion again. Although I do have the... Oh, is that 3? It is 3 for the daily discount. I actually didn't even know that. There you go. Well, that's fine. And look, we got those free gems anyway, so I can use those on, Iris. So if we just get the unlock, and then that way my Brendan will be as powerful as he can possibly be. We'll get all of those extra orbs. And the difference from the last Academy event as well is that we've got the increase of our the level cap increase as well. So that should be pretty good for us. Alright, let's go. Come on, Iris. Listen to this beautiful music. Isn't it great? I usually play this game on mute, I'll be completely honest with you. I've played on mute because I listen to YouTube while I'm doing stuff. Man, big bus trip yesterday, at least when I'm recording. I did my Champion Stadium, and I was very happy that I was able to do it in the one bus trip. Didn't take me a lot of time. Not that I really needed the Champion Spirit, but it's nice to have, Gladion? Maybe this one's Gladion, though. Maybe this one. Do I have even... I don't even have enough for it. How depressing is that? Alright, let's do a 3 summon over here. I'll do the 1-3 on Iris, and then we can save it, because we've done all the main stuff anyway. This is from all the 3 gems we've gotten. I'm not going to buy that, the other one, because I don't really need any of the units in there. Thanks, Mulva. unit that I definitely needed, you know, at some point. Ah, there we go. Hey, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Technically free to play, so I can use that in everything now. Haha, don't at me, game. All right, there we go. That's all of our stuff. We've got our units. Nice and simple. Again, double drop on Gladion. I'm very happy with that. So that'll give me a couple of extra bonuses there. There he is. Let's unlock his level cap. I actually do think, for me, I'm going to be honest with you. I think we're just going to go all in, going all out. All right, let's get him all the 6-star EX here. Give him that. Look, you'll see how many champion spirit I have. I have far too many. 515 spirit. I can afford it for Gladion. I actually do think Gladion.
Okay.
Gladion, I think, is going to be worth it, mainly because he's a strike unit that you can use on anything you want, and you will get a bonus there. And I reckon with the normal tower, will come in very handy as well, considering that, you know, he's a normal unit. We can use him in that, and he can swap his weakness to whatever you need to hit them. So it might come in pretty handy there. And we'll give him the cake as well. Since we've EX'd him, give him the cake. That's right. No, I don't have... Wait, did I? No, I do. You have to hit the... You have to hit the plus now. I don't understand why. There we go. A strike tech Lechonk. Get out of here. Get out of here. I didn't even do the Florian one. That's how bad I was. I didn't even do the Florian Academy. My goodness. Alrighty. He's, yeah. I think we'll try and get him to 200. And I've pretty much beaten the game at this point. So make sure you get your Gladion. And he should come in pretty handy. Alright, so first off, we've got our Iris and Lapras, basically just like an ice setter unit. We've got Ice Beam, no one really cares about that. Unova Analysis, I don't know how that works. Basically, you get bonuses for the more Unova units you have on your team. You're going to get a little bit of reduction in your special damage you take, and also increase in the damage that you deal, which is going to be nice. It also activates her buddy move, which is cool, which is going to be Breezy Blizzard, basically like an AoE freeze if you're lucky. It doesn't cost any moves either, any move gauges, so you're able to keep spamming that out without needing to, you know, have move gauge there. Never misses, 50% chance to target, freeze the target, and will also not lower depending on how many people there are. So if you hit an AoE, usually it kind of lessens the effect of everything that happens, burn, poison, all that stuff. That won't be the case here. Hit him, 50% chance to freeze, just a flip of the coin, and also does the same amount of damage to everyone as well. And on top of that, you get super effective next and special moves next as well to all of your allied sync pairs whenever you use this move. Really boosts up that damage. If you want, use this just before a sync move a couple of times. Get the super effective next, get the special move next, and then your striker that's going to hit everyone on the team. Big damage output. Should come in pretty handy. And then we won't lose. Basically, it's kind of like a team-wide potion and a team-wide full heal. You get 40% health on everyone, which is nice. Removes all their status conditions and your flinch, trap, confused, if they have any of those. It's going to remove all those as well. It's a full cleanse, basically. And then on top of that, you get gradual healing as well. And it's going to raise your water type rebuff, which is a little strange. Because for the most part, when you're fighting water types, you don't really need ice type units. But it's nice if you're fighting a water type stage and you need a little bit of extra, you know, a little bit of oomph, a little bit of pizzazz. Then you can throw your Lapras in, get that water type rebuff, and you should be alright. And then for a sync move, nothing too important here. It's just a typical support one. If you do 6-star, you will get that double bonus, which is going to be pretty cool. And just a quick overview of just our passive skills here. People and Nature together will apply your Nova Circle special to the allied field of play the first time you enter battle. So once you start the battle, you're just going to get that Unova Circle right at the start. On top of that, whenever you apply the circle, you're going to raise everyone's defense and special defense by 2 stat ranks, and you can use your circle twice. So it means you can max out everyone's defenses and that, which is really nice. And it's pretty passive as well. Just throw the circle out and they get the bonus as well. Also, you take less special damage. Really good special defense tank here, if you can kind of get that rolling. Unova Circle special team crit immunity basically gives your entire team vigilance, which is really good if you don't want to put that on your supports or any of your other units, for example. You can just throw this on, you give everyone vigilance. You don't have to worry about getting the lucky cookie, which is terrible in my case, but which is really nice. You just throw that circle. You want to do that anyway. You're going to be taking less damage. And if they try to crit you, it won't matter. You just completely block it. And also use Unova Analysis, restore buddy move MP by 1. Basically, you get an extra use of your Breezy Blizzard whenever you use your Unova Analysis, which is going to be really cool. So you get an extra 2 uses there. So you get 2 at the start, use both of them, and then as you use your Unova Circle and keep resetting it, you're going to be getting that buddy move back to then get the freeze, up everyone's special attack if you need to, and also give them that super effective next. And if you're really lucky, as I said, you might get the freeze, which will be pretty cool. And for her, it won't actually show me here. I hit the wrong button there. Her EX, I think, is a field role. Let's have a look if I can find it. And yes, her EX role is a field type. So whenever you use her sync move and she's 6-star EX, you can get that double bonus. and you're also going to apply an ice zone. You won't put hail out on the field, just an ice zone, which is probably a little bit better, really. And for our grid, there's a couple of cool things in here, mainly this area down here, all your circle bonuses. Obviously, the health recovery is going to be really nice. She's a support unit, so having a way that when you have your circle out, you're going to be taking less damage, you're not going to be crit, all these extra bonuses, and on top of that, you're also going to be healing yourself as you take moves while that circle is applied. If you can get a 3 out of 5, definitely pick up this extension, just for the fact that she can put it out right at the start of the battle. Throw this out, you get that extended use anyway, and then you can keep using whatever moves you need to. And then once you need to reset it, you get more bang for your buck. So I really think this is going to be a big pickup. Circle, attack, move, damage reduction 2. You just take less damage while the circle is applied to your field. Really good if you need her to tank, if she's going to be like your main tank, the unit that they're going to be focusing on. Throw this on, you're going to be taking less damage from all their attack moves. Sync moves, I don't think get the damage reduction here, but at that point, it doesn't really matter, especially if you're versing a lot of special units. You've got all the bonuses there to really keep you in the fight. And I actually think Team Underhanded Heal is going to be pretty good as well. If you use an attack move against a target that is affected by a status condition, so for example, if you freeze them, or if they're burned, paralyzed, poisoned, anything like that, if you hit them, you're going to be healing everyone on the team by a little bit of health, which is going to be really nice to keep everyone in the fight. It's also just guaranteed. So if we hit them with like Ice Beam and we freeze them, then we keep hitting them with that Ice Beam. We're going to be healing everyone as well, on top of the circle recovery as well, which is going to be really nice. And then you also the damage reduction from that's going to be cool. And if you want to use her as a tech unit, status condition, opponent, stat down by 2, 9. They really need to think of another name for that. That's just a word salad right there. If they're affected by a status condition, you will lower one of their stats by 2. So it could be their attack, their defense, their special attack, special defense, speed, accuracy, or evasion. Just like if you want to lower all their stats, bring them down so they won't hit you as hard. It's going to be really nice, especially if you start lowering their special attack. My goodness. And then there's just a couple of things here, like Ice Beam. If you have the circle up and you use Ice Beam, you're just going to get free move next. That can come in handy if you're going to be using that. For the most part, you won't really be using her for damage. It's really just to keep the sync move coming down. I don't really think it's super worth it here. If she was a striker unit, you could probably make an argument there then for her, but at this point, it's really not super worth it. And these two up here, unit sets Unova Circle, team special attack, or team attack up 9. Basically, you're just going to increase everyone's attack up or special attack by 2, depending on which one you have. You're going to guarantee that increase in attack or special attack once you apply Unova Circle. Remember, when she enters the battle, she's going to up everyone's whatever stat you need anyway, because she sets that circle. So if you can get this for the special attack one, you're going to be upping everyone's special attack. And remember, you also have 2 uses. But by that point, if you have a striker, they usually have a +4 attack or special attack move. So if you have this, you're just going to max it out and just get some big damage numbers out. Sync Redemption will be pretty cool as well. It's going to... I don't really understand the wording here. Restores 1 MP for the user's trainer. So I don't know what that means. Does that mean you get another circle? Because that's technically a trainer move. Or do you get one we won't lose? Or do you get one of each? That'd be even better, because that means you're just going to be getting that circle constantly. Get that, what's it called? The damage reduction, sorry. And also the damage increase. And also the extension is going to be nice if you can pick that up. And worst case, you get that team-wide potion. Very good healing, very good support. And then these ones over here, not super important. I suppose if you have it, you could go for the special moves up. But by that point, you're going to be upping everyone's special attack anyway. You're going to get circle out. It's going to increase their special attack as well. And for the most part, I probably would just focus more on this stuff because she's more of a support unit. But circle move gauge by 2. Basically, you're going to get 2 bars whenever you put the circle down, which isn't too bad. For the most part, she doesn't really use any of the bars though. You throw the circle, you use Breezy Blizzard. Doesn't even cost any move gauge there. So at that point, you'll probably have enough speed in that to kind of keep the bars coming back. But if you want to pick it up, can come in handy as well. And for the most part, I probably wouldn't even worry about getting your Breezy Blizzard move gauge refresh. Again, it's a free move. You don't really need the move gauge, but also you're only really going to utilize it for like, at most, maybe 4 uses per match. It's not really worth putting 7 energy in. If this was like a 3 energy first node kind of thing, absolutely could pick it up. But I don't think that using it on a limited move like Breezy Blizzard is going to be really useful. And lastly, Unova Analysis, first trainer move, sync cooldown down 1. Again, they need to really think of another name for this. It's going to reduce your sync move countdown by 1 the first time you use Unova Analysis in this case. So when you use your Unova Analysis, you're going to reduce your sync move countdown. That'd be really cool if it was every time you used it, because I feel like you're only going to throw it out once anyway to get that circle back when you refresh it. Even if this worked once you activated it as you came into the battle, maybe, but even then 10 energy for that. I'd rather put it into something else. I don't even have a lucky skill on her. I don't even know what to put on here. Vigilance could be an idea, but if you have the circle down and the extension, you won't really need it. So I'd say Vigilance until you can get that bonus. Then after that, I don't know, maybe Power Flux or Troublemaker, something like that to make sure you can get that freeze on the enemy. That's all I could really think there. And next up is going to be our Gladion and our Porygon Z. As you can see, I've put a lot more effort into this one than I have my Iris. I've already got him 6-star. I've given him the tech bonus. He does a lot of big damage, and he's very good. I think he's very good at least. We'll see how he goes when I start doing some testing and stuff. Mainly like the normal Passio Tower. I think he's going to be really good there. But first off, first move, Hyper Beam. My goodness, just 4 bars, big damage. What more do you need? We've got Recover, which is going to heal you by 50% of your maximum health. You won't really even need to click this button though, and I'll show you why when we go into his grid. Hyper Beam Z, whenever you use a sync move, you're going to activate this buddy move, and then whenever you use it, it then becomes deactivated. So you basically get it once per sync move, if that's a way to explain it, I guess. Never misses. The power of this move is not lowered even if there are multiple targets. It does hit everyone on the team as well, which is really nice. Reduce user sync move countdown by 1, and it's not like first time you use it, it just reduces it, so it's going to get that Hyper Beam zooming out a little bit quicker. Applies free move next to the user, so you get to use your next Hyper Beam for free. It is a 4-bar move, so very handy to have. Increase the user's special move next by 2 stat ranks. So you're going to basically just supercharge your Hyper Beam, which is going to be really good to get some big numbers out. And get full marks. Reduce the user's sync countdown by 1. Just gets that Hyper Beam Z out a little bit faster. Will raise your special attack by 4 stat ranks and your crit rate by 3 stat ranks. So you're going to max out your crit and get pretty decent special attack. And remember, if you have a character, say like, I don't know, Iris and Lapras, if you have that extra, the circle special attack up, again, they need another name for that. Whenever you do that, you're going to basically max out your special attack right away and get some big damage numbers out, especially when you got Hyper Beam. That's a lot of big numbers out. For his sync move, he is a strike unit, so it's going to hit everyone on the team, and he's also a tech unit as well. So the bonus there is it's going to increase the damage of his sync move, which is really nice. And moving on to the passives, this is where you get to see the big damage numbers out. You're probably like a normal type striker. That's not too important. We'll wait till you read this. Memory Emulator. I thought Nintendo didn't like emulators. Changes the type of the user's move to that of a single target's weakness when you use Hyper Beam Z. So whatever you're focusing on when you hit Hyper Beam Z, you're going to change your type to that weakness. So for example, say we're fighting something and it's weak to rock. It'll then change all of our moves into rock type moves, and then we basically become a rock type striker. And then say we need, all right, now I've beaten that one. Okay, now it's a water type. All right, we hit it with Hyper Beam Z on the water type, and then we become a water type unit. Basically, he gets to change all of his moves in that into whatever he needs to knock out the enemy. And remember, he's a strike unit, hits everyone on the team, and a tech unit as well. You can see why I've put the effort into him. Attack program will power up the user's Hyper Beam, and it will never miss. So don't even need to worry about getting accuracy nodes in that. It's just never going to miss anyway. And it's also going to increase the damage of his Hyper Beam. I think it's by another 50%. So what was his Hyper Beam originally? It was 234. So we add another 50% onto that. That's what, 349, almost 350 almost damage, which is roughly the damage of a sync move, just heads up, as just a basic 4-gauge move. I think you can see why he's going to be pretty good. And lastly, recovery program. This is why you don't need to worry about using recover in your kit. He basically has an inbuilt first aid, depending on how many recovers he has. Powers up the user's sync move when its remaining health is at half or more. So assuming that you can keep him alive, big damage numbers. Also will reduce the MP of the user's recover by 1 and restore its health by about 50% when its health drops to half or below. So basically once you hit that 49% or lower, you're going to just use recover passively and then just get that healing back. And then if it hits it again, remember he has 2 MP of that. He's going to build that up again, no problem. If there's a way to keep getting that MP back, might be very, very good. And for his lucky skill, I really think Critical Strike 2 is going to be the way to go. I just need to get the cookies to actually put that onto his kit, because he can up his own crit, he can up his own damage. He's a striker, it's going to hit everyone on the team, and he's also a tech unit. Big damage numbers, that's all I really care about. We'll just do this clockwise because I have no idea what I'm going to get on him. So we've got Recover, MP, Refresh. If this activates whenever you use your just passive, like your first aid essentially, I'm going to definitely pick this up, because getting that just constant refresh on first aid is going to just be not so overpowered. Master Healer, I don't know if this is really even worth it. If you want, you could probably pick it up, but for the most part, he does just heal himself whenever you need him to. As long as you can just keep his defenses up, I think that's all you'll probably need. Super duper effective 3 powers up moves that are super effective, so your Hyper Beam Z are going to be a little bit more powerful, which will be nice. It is only 30% increase in damage for 10 energy, not really that important, but if you want to pick it up, could come in handy. And super effective interference, one kind. Basically, you will leave the target either flinched, trapped, or confused whenever you attack something, and it's super effective. Remember, you can change your typing, so getting that on the enemy as well could come in handy. Imagine flinching them, or confused or trapped, they take extra damage over time. Could come in pretty handy. Furious Brain, the more that your special attack is raised, the more it's going to pair up your moves, so your Hyper Beam and your Hyper Beam Z. You're going to increase your special attack anyway, so getting this might be a good pickup just to get that extra damage output. Get Full Marks, ramp up 2. It's going to increase your special attack by another 2 stat ranks. If you're going for Furious Brain, definitely pick this up so that you can just max it out on his own, or if you have a support that can give him special attack, could come in handy as well. You won't need to pick this up then. Hyper Beam Z move gauge refresh. For the most part, I wouldn't pick this up anyway. It's only a 2 gauge move. You think it's a 4 gauge move because it's a Hyper Beam. It's only a 2 gauge move, and you only get to use it once per sync move. If it was something you could constantly use, definitely pick it up, but because it's only once per sync move, not really worth it. Get Full Marks MP refresh. For the most part, I wouldn't really care about getting this. Like, you don't really need it. The only reason you would get it is maybe for like rallies, and then you don't have to get the MP cake or curry or whatever they use in that to get the MP back. But for the most part, you'd probably just ignore this one because you're just going to up it. You get max crit, and you get a +4 special attack. You don't really need it, you know? Dauntless special attack can't be lowered. Can be helpful if they have things like, you know, Struggle Bug or anything like that. Maybe, but for the most part, I probably wouldn't even get this. Get Full Marks Catalytic Kick will give you move gauge acceleration to the allied field of play whenever you use Get Full Marks. That could come in handy if you really need that move gauge acceleration. You've got a lot of big, you know, 4 gauge moves that need to be spammed out. Can come in handy, but for the most part, just get some speed bonuses and call it a day. Hyper Beam Gobsmack, a 50% chance to leave the target confused whenever you hit it. If you don't want to go for that super interference up here, and you just want to go for like a little bit of a chance, 50% is still not too bad. Get them confused and we call it a day. Hyper Beam, hit special defense down by 2 by 9, really needs another name. Lower the target's special defense by 2 whenever you hit it with a Hyper Beam. Remember, you'll never miss with Hyper Beam as well. It's going to power up the damage of your Hyper Beam. So lowering their special defense, hitting them really hard, and then opening them up for some big sync move damage. Very, very nice. Opponent special defense down, sync moves up by 5. They really need a name for this. Powers up the user's sync move when the target's special defense is lowered. Isn't this actually already an ability? Is it like Brain Teaser or something? Why don't they just call it Brain Teaser 5 and then just make it 50%? Like, why wouldn't you just do it like that? All these extra words, I don't need them. But definitely pick this up, especially if you're going to pick up the Hyper Beam special defense down. Lowering their special defense and then increasing the amount of damage you're going to be doing anyway. And then on top of that, you get another 50%. 50% on your Hyper Beam anyway from his passive. Oh my goodness, so much damage. And lastly, in the other arm here, we've got Hyper Beam Move Gauge Refresh. If anything, I would pick this one up because you're going to be using Hyper Beam more often than not. Using that anyway. Pretty much, the good thing about Gladion is pretty brain dead. You use your Get Full Marks, and then you use Hyper Beam, Hyper Beam, Hyper Beam, Sync Move, Hyper Beam Z, Hyper Beam, Hyper Beam, Hyper Beam. Don't need to use Recover at all, because he's just going to use that passively, so getting this will be pretty handy. Hyper Beam combo free before. If this was a guaranteed free move next, I would pick that up. 50% chance to get free move. It's a 4-gauge move, could come in handy. Either is going to be nice. As I said, 50% is just a coin flip, so if you feel pretty confident you're always going to be getting heads, then definitely pick this up to get free move next. You won't even need to use any of your move gauge. And lastly, Sync Move Special Boost 2-9 will up your special move next by 2 after using your Sync Move, which is going to do extra damage with your Hyper Beam Z if you're going to be focusing on kind of using that. So if you want to pick this up, could come in handy, but for the most part, I would just focus on getting Hyper Beam and focusing on upping that damage because that's going to be your main damage dealer. And lastly is going to be Brendan and Marshtomp. He is a tech unit and he does have a Strike Cake. So if you want to put that on him and get some big damage numbers out, can come in pretty handy. Kind of like your Gladion and Porygon Z, except this one is only for water types, obviously. Looking at his sync grid, there's a lot of bonuses here. For the most part, we'll just look at his moves and see what he can do. So first off, Move Gauge Boost. For the most part, wouldn't pick this up. Move Gauge Boost isn't super helpful. You get like Move Gauge just to up your speed, we call it a day. Growl, this might come in pretty handy because there is a node up here, which is Sync Move Boost. You're going to get up everyone's Sync Move next whenever you use Growl. You're also going to lower their stats as well, which is nice, lower their attack. So if you up your defenses, you're going to be taking a lot less damage. And on top of that, you've also got, I think it's Bad Break. Yes, Bad Break here. Whenever you use Growl, you're going to lower one of their other stats by 1 as well. Could be their attacks or -2 attack, or their defense, special attack, special defense, speed, accuracy, or evasion. Have a chance to lower that as well, and you're just going to be hitting everyone on the team anyway with Growl. So if you want to kind of build him as like a tech unit, could be the way to go. Muddy Water, if you want him to do a little bit more damage, Muddy Water might be the way to go. AoE water move, it is special, that's the only big problem I suppose with it. But for the most part, Move Gauge Refresh will be nice. On a roll to lower the target's accuracy if you want to do that. And also Discombobulate will lower the target, will just guarantee that you're going to lower their accuracy as well. So if you want to really lower their accuracy so they won't hit you, Could go discombobulate, or at the worst case, get on a roll and then just up the damage and then we call it a day. Defensive Studies is going to raise your defense and special defense by 2 stat ranks, and I think you get 2 uses of it, so +4 in both of your defenses. Good way to keep him in the fight and keep him tanking. It's also got a couple of bonuses, you know, MP refresh, obviously, if you want to keep buffing that up. Berserker, if you want to go into the more the physical attacker route, upping your defenses and then getting some extra attack. Could come in pretty handy. Otherwise, you've got ramp up as well for your special attack. And then worst case, definitely picking up at least durable so you can give yourself enduring. Use your defensive studies, get that enduring, get hit by a big move, then use it again to get that enduring again. It'll just make him really annoying to knock out. Unless I hit him with a sync move, which is the only problem there. Offense studies, it's basically the same thing as your defense ones, except for your offenses. Big surprise there. So attack and special attack up by 2, and you get 2 uses, so that's not too bad. Ramp up and Berserker to basically max that out with your just base 2 units. It's a little annoying that you have to go for the MP refresh and then get those anyway, but I suppose it's nice you do it twice. If you use them in a rally, can come in handy, I guess. And in the worst case, we've got Critical Eye 2 as well. It's going to up your crit rate by 2 whenever your move is successful, so when you use it, basically. If you use it twice, you're going to max out your crit, which is going to be really good, and you're going to up all of your attacks as well, which is going to be a lot better than one of the other moves that we have. And Strong Start 2 increases your physical and special move next by 2 stat ranks once you enter battle. So once you come into the battle, you're going to get that as a bonus anyway. Don't really know why it's on offense studies, but I suppose you're wanting that anyway for like the big damage bonus, so that's probably what it's there for. Just going to skip over a couple of these and talk about Die Hit. I would not pick this up at all. Completely skip it. It's not worth it. I would much rather go offense studies, get my +3 special attack, +3 special defense per use, and my +2 crit. You're going to get everything you want with Die Hit, but you're also going to get your increased attack as well. Definitely pick that up. Skip Die Hit Plus. It's useless. And lastly, depending on how you want to use him, you can go either the Earthquake or the Liquidation route. So with Earthquake, the cool thing about this is he does have Trip Up on it, so it basically becomes a more stronger version of Bulldoze. You're going to lower their speed as well, but also it's just big ground damage if you need some ground coverage for that, which should come in pretty handy. Attack Trap as well will leave the target trapped whenever you use a move against it. So once you use Earthquake, everyone gets hit with some big damage, lowers their speed, and it's also going to leave them trapped, which will be cool. And lastly, buy one, get one free 9. That's not too bad if you're going to be spamming out Earthquake, get the free move next whenever you use it. The only problem is that really you're just going to be lowering their speed, and once you kind of do that, you're going to probably stop using Earthquake and just focus on using anything else. However, if you want to use him as like a ground type striker or ground type attacker or whatever you want to call him, you could throw this on and get some big ground AoE damage out while lowering their speed as well, which is nice. Or if you want him to be a water type striker, Liquidation is the way to go. You have a 20% chance of lowering their defense by 1 stat rank, which isn't too bad, just opening them up for some big damage. His sync move is physical attack as well. Didn't look at that, but there it is. It is a physical attack move as well. So you're going to open him up if you want to use him as like a sync tech striker. However you want to do that, lowering their stats is going to be nice. Move gauge refresh, pick that up anyway. I mean, you have to. It won't let you do anything else otherwise. On a roll 4 is not going to be too bad to pick up as well, just because that's going to increase the chance of you lowering their stats. Or if you want, you could completely skip that, go up all these stat routes, and go up to Overwhelm 9, which is going to lower their attack as well, which would be nice. And then you've also got Defense Destroyer, which is a guaranteed -2 in their defense whenever you hit them with Liquidation. So if you don't want it, you don't really care about getting that on a roll, you just want to make sure you get it guaranteed, build up those orbs, get all these extra stat bonuses. At the very least, you could just get the attack 40 and then go into your Defense Destroyer to make sure you can lower their defense and open them up for some big damage. And for the top branch here, you got your Headstrong and your Dauntless, depending if you want to pick those up. Not really super important. Flameproof as well, I suppose, nice because he's a water type, sure. You got Move Gauge Refresh for your Waterfall, and it's the only move he really has, so that's not too bad, I guess. Quick Cure, that's not too bad, just to keep him in the fight. Don't have to worry about trapped or confused or anything the first time it happens. That's the only annoying thing. Trip Up on your Waterfall. When you hit them, you have a chance to flinch with Waterfall, but you're also going to be lowering their speed as well. That can come in handy if you want to just slow them down and also keep them, keep them on the back end, Moving over to the right, we've got Supreme Entry, super effective next to the user when it enters battle. Once you come in, you just get super effective moves next. So if they're weak to water, you're going to get extra damage out, which is cool. First Aid, at the very least, I would want to pick this up. Just that passive healing is going to be really nice. 20% of your health just whenever you're in a pinch. Just keeps you in the fight a little bit longer. We got the sync move bonuses. Interference Sync 5 powers up the sync move against targets that are trapped, flinched, or confused. Remember, you have a lot of different ways to get those on the enemy there. You got Waterfall, which is flinching, or you can trap them with Earthquake as well. So if you get one of these on, extra damage on your sync move. First sync move, Hoenn Circle Defensive on field. Whenever you use your sync move, you're going to apply Hoenn Circle Defensive to the field. It's going to be really good to just keep all of your units nice and healthy. Well, not really healthy. They're going to buff up their defenses, so they won't take as much damage is probably the better way to use that. Gobsmack 9, just a free one. You just get, whenever you hit the enemy, you leave them confused. Nice and simple. You may want to pick this up anyway, just so that you can keep that going, but really, it's on the way of getting your extension 5 for your Hoenn Circle. Once you use your sync move, you're going to apply Hoenn Circle Defensive to the field, and then everyone is going to get lots of bonuses, and it's going to increase the duration by, I think, 50%, because it's extension 5. So very handy to keep that field effect on whenever you need it. Unless obviously you're doing Champion Stadium with the field effect bonus, then it's not really important, you know? Going over to the left, we've got Healthy Healing. Definitely pick this up because it's just nice healing as well. Just keeps you in the fight a little bit longer. And if you want to use him as kind of like a tank, you can do that. It's got a lot of ways to up his defenses and lower the enemy's attack. So it can come in handy to just keep you healing over time. Strong Start. Remember, we had this in the, I think it was the Offense Studies one. You get extra physical moves and special moves next. So you can pick this up if you want to do some really big damage for that with that first move. Skipping over the sync move bonus, we've got Adrenaline. It's going to lower your sync move count down by 1. Very handy if you want to keep your sync moves coming out. Shower Sync will make the weather rainy the first time the sync move is used every battle. So you're just going to, once you use the sync move, if you have both of the branches open, you're going to apply Hoenn Circle Defensive, so you buff everyone's defenses. And on top of that, you're going to make it raining as well. So any fire moves coming your way is not going to break through your shield, you know? Rain Gear 3, it's going to reduce damage you take when the weather is rainy. Once we use our sync move, we apply that circle, we get the rain, and then on top of that, we're just taking less damage, which is nice. And Flood Alert 5, it's going to extend the duration of the rainy weather on the field whenever it turns rainy. So because we can activate that on our sync move, we can get extended rain as well, which will be very, very handy. And then going up the middle here for the final, I suppose, branch or whatever you want to call it here, we've got Shower Power 5. We'll power up the user's sync move when the weather is rainy. The only problem is that you have to use your sync move to get it rainy, but after that, it's going to be extended. It's going to last a little bit longer, and it's also going to reduce any damage you take, and then that way you're going to increase damage of your sync move as well. Unless there's a way you could probably get some rain out early. I wonder if there's anything on this kit that can do that. Racing Rain will quickly charge the move gauge when the weather is rainy. It's basically like a move gauge acceleration while it's raining, so it's really nice to just keep those big moves coming out, especially if you're running Earthquake. Power Play, the more the target's stats are lowered, the more it's going to power up your sync move, and this is per stat. And remember, we have things like Growl, which can lower any of their stats by 1 whenever we use it. It's going to hit everyone on the team as well. And you're also a striker cake unit, so you can hit everyone on the team with this. So you got some big, like, tech nuke damage here. Just think about units that have, like, you know, Brain Teaser. We just did the Mewtwo and Giovanni Synchron Guide. Very big damage output there. Imagine if we did that times 7. Yeah, big damage numbers. Waterfall Aggravation, just if you want to get the flinch on the enemy, can be pretty handy, I suppose. But for the most part, you get Gobsmack and then we call it a day. Rainy Hit, stat down by 2, 9. Really needs another name for that. Basically, it's going to lower one of the target's stats by 2, but at random, whenever we hit them with a move, while it's rainy. That's the only problem. It needs to be rainy for that to happen. But the good thing about that can be your attack, your defense, special attack, special defense, speed, accuracy, or evasiveness. And remember, we have our thing like Power Play. We're going to get extra damage if we lower their stats. So while it's raining, which is extended, we take less damage and we do more damage as well, remember? We're going to be hitting them, lowering all their stats, and getting some big damage numbers out once we hit them with our Tech Nuke, if you want to build into that, obviously. And lastly, I definitely would want to pick this bad boy up. Memories of Route 120 will make the weather rainy the first time the user enters the battle, and will also apply Hoenn Defensive Circle the first time you enter battle every battle. Good thing about that is that, remember, he has extension and he has the rain extension as well with Flood Alert, which is going to be really handy at getting your rain and also your circle out. It's just going to apply it right off the bat. And remember, to get there, we do need to take this node as well, which is going to lower all their stats as we hit them with some big moves. That's why I really highly suggest getting at least Muddy Water or Earthquake, whichever one you want. I'm leaning more towards Earthquake because it's a physical move. And then probably that's it, really. So in terms of what moves I would like to pick, depending on how many orbs you have, it really just does depend on what you want. For the most part, I would want to get this Memory of Route 120. Definitely want to pick that bad boy up just to make sure you get that rain and Hoenn Circle right at the start. And also, when it's raining, you're going to be lowering their stats as well. If you can't afford that, then I don't know what you're really doing at this point. But if you can't afford that, Growl could come in handy. Hits everyone on the team, lowers their stats, builds up pretty fast. I think it's only a 1 gauge move as well. So you're going to be lowering all their stats constantly. and you're going to be getting a lot of build up there for your power play for his big Tech Nuke hit. Otherwise, for the most part, move gauge boost I wouldn't pick up. Muddy Water, defensive studies if you want it could come in handy. For the most part, I probably wouldn't go for that. He's not really a support unit. He's a tech strike unit, so definitely focus more on the offensive capabilities there. So things like offensive studies, boosting your attack and your crit rate as well, going to be very handy. Earthquake, I think you should pick up anyway. It has trap on it, lowers their speed as well, like guaranteed. And on top of that, when it's raining, you're going to be lowering all their stats as well. So it's just nice passive stat reduction. Definitely, I think Earthquake is the way to go. And it's a physical move, which is what he is. He's primarily a physical unit because you have Waterfall and also your Sync move. And then depending on what you want to use, if you want to use Muddy Water, I'm not going to say no. Muddy Water's not too bad. Hits everyone on the team. The only problem is it's a special move. But if you have that, if you need a physical water type move, you could use Waterfall. Or if you want, even Liquidation could come in pretty handy because it can also lower their defense as well, which is, again, really good. If it's raining, you're going to be doing more damage, lowering their stats, and also lowering their stats even more with the power play there. Not power play, what's it called? Rainy hit stat down 9 by 2. That's definitely a word. But yeah, Liquidation could be a way to go as well, especially with Defense Destroyer. At the very least, Earthquake and Offensive Studies are definitely the ones you want to pick up. All right, look, we're here. I don't really have any other units I want to give the cake to, and I think he is actually really good. And since I've got Iris and Gladion, I don't have him 6-star EX yet. But let's give him the cake. So this way it's going to make me go, I need to get the orbs on him so that I can use him. So let's focus on that. We're going to get some good runs. I'm going to do just my initial first time run with everyone. And we'll do our Brendan and Marshtomp run. And then I'll upload that to the channel at some point in the future. But thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Let me know down below what units you want to go for. And if you're excited for the Brendan and Marshtomp event. Really, honestly, I wish they would bring back the Lechonk event. Because, man, I did not put any effort into my poor Florian here. Look at that. What is this? This is a terrible run. And I think I did like 1 or 2 runs. And I went, yeah, I'll do it later. And then the event ended. I was like, oh, damn. So I kind of wish I'd bring that back so I could do my Florian one. Please, DNA. I'm begging you on everything. I don't even know what he has. He has Hyper Voice. Nice. And Potion. Wow. What a force to be reckoned with. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.